They should link up. They should compare notes.
I think they should kiss with tongue. No, they shouldn't do that.
No!
What did I just say? Don't worry about it.
Welcome to Wow If True, the podcast of your wildest memes.
We're your one-stop internet culture shop here to dissect what's going viral, why we care, and how this might affect our real human lives. I'm getting over, the mystery New York City flu that isn't COVID. Isabel.
And I'm Amanda, no longer alone. Anyone could be famous on the internet, so why not us?
You know, love to be back in the studio. Love to not force you to just talk to yourself for, 40 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like I was relegated to... This is when having a podcast dungeon really feels meaningful. When you're sitting alone in a dungeon talking to yourself for 40 minutes on a Friday night.
Did the dungeon add to the ambiance of recording?
Oh yeah. I was actually thinking about what if I just took the call upstairs today where there's light and I'm not in a dungeon, but they're doing construction outside, so podcast dungeon coming in clutch.
See, this is why you had to move to an apartment with a podcast dungeon.
Well, speaking of my apartment, this is kind of irrelevant. However, I do want to point out that I found out this week through just hallway gossip that my apartment building has a Facebook group.
I see, and what goes in on this Facebook group? That's so millennial.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is millennial, because I feel like this building is very much people in their late 20s and early 30s who don't have a family but have jobs that allows them to purchase or to rent apartments that have dungeons in them. But
sure, okay.
Well, not everyone has a dungeon. That's just to be clear. It's basically all millennials all the way down. And there's just so much drama in this Facebook group. I spent an hour reading back until a year ago. And then also this building, when it was first opened in 2018, they opened it before it was ready. And there were all these articles about how bad it was, which I think is also why the rent is cheaper than it should be, because the building kind of has a bad reputation because of 2018. But it's fine now because they finished the building now. So the apartments are intact when they were not in 2018.
Wait, so what's the biggest piece of drama from the Facebook group?
So I moved in here in July, and apparently in April there was someone who worked for the building who people really liked, and he was fired, and people didn't know why he was fired and thought that it was probably unjust. So there was some community organizing to rally to get this guy rehired, but I don't know what ended up happening. I feel also if you're that guy, if you get fired, then you're probably not going to feel super safe coming back, even if they offer for you to come back.
Yeah, I would just leave. I mean, if I could.
For sure. There's some drama also because there is a little outside area for people to bring their dogs, and people apparently have not been cleaning up the poop, and people are trying to figure out who's the dog poop culprit. And apparently in apartment buildings where this is an issue, a thing that the landlords do is you can subscribe to a dog poop DNA testing service.
What the fuck?
And send the poop to be DNA identified and then find out what dog did it.
The fact
and
that
then you
this
can
is
find
a subscription is a lot.
Yeah, people with dogs are crazy. I mean, good for you for having a dog, but the dog drama in this apartment group, a lot of it is also that they've been doing fire alarm testing recently, because that's just a thing you have to do if you're an apartment building that abides by fire code. Mm-hmm. And people are very upset because their dogs get very upset when the fire alarm goes off, which is understandable. But it's also I mean,
they gotta do it. That's actually a mandate that they have to do. I'm kind of on the landlord's side about the fire alarms.
I know, it makes me really upset that I'm on the landlord's side, because it's I don't know, it's you can't not do the fire alarms. However, I don't think they have been communicating with people the exact time of it, but also apparently these tests are very random, so they can't really tell us the exact time because they don't know the exact
Amanda,
time.
This is the most millennial stuff that we've talked about on the podcast. This is just
I know,
deeply millennial.
I know, but the dog poop DNA testing is fucking crazy.
Yeah, the fact that that exists is insane.
Also, it's kind of like similar to another millennial thing that I don't think this exists anymore, but like the college acceptance Facebook groups, where like when you like the like incoming class of whatever Facebook group, where there's like 5 kids that are super active on it, and then you like never hear from them ever again.
I really like how those
And-
used to create like micro celebrities within that like
No,
class.
yeah, I feel like in ours there was a kid named like Billy or something.
Yeah. Whatever happened to
and
him?
then I don't know, because once we got to school, he just like disappeared. I feel like he just then was like a normal guy. But in the incoming freshman Facebook group, everyone was like, "Who is this kid? Why is he posting every day about how much he loves everyone?"
You know, honestly, like, what a way to get, like, micro-celebrity. Like, the fact... I always love when people in, like, small communities become, like, a guy. Because it... Like, why do we do that as, you know, as a species? Like, what's going on here? I was a guy with a concussion in a fanfic server for a while. It was, like, a whole thing.
Guy with a concussion.
No,
Okay. That's very you.
Do you want to actually hear what happened about this? Because this is, like, very stupid.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, whenever my life is in shambles, I turn to the warm embrace of writing fanfiction and also getting way too involved in, like, random fanfic bullshit. So, long story short, I'm in a fanfic Discord now, which is specifically a Discord for a fanfic. And I'm not going to get into it any further than that, because you shouldn't be able to find me on the internet. Get the fuck out of my life.
Except for
Anyway.
the people that are like here because they read your fanfic.
Yes, except for those people who are here because they read my fanfic. You know, the fact that the people in our podcast server consist of people who... There's like a group of people who've read my fanfic, and then a group of people who've read my, like, real human fiction.
Yeah, they should link up. They should compare notes.
I think they should kiss with tongue. No, they shouldn't do that.
No!
What did I just say? Don't worry about it.
Anyway,
Sorry, I leave the podcast for one episode, and then it just all goes to shit.
the concussion.
Yeah, okay, so the concussion. No, so what happened is that, like, this is a server for a different fanfic, but there's a writing channel where people are just talking about their own shit. And, like, you know, obviously I need to talk about my shit all the time or else I'll die. You know how it is. So, I'm talking about my fanfic, and then a couple people in there are, like, reading it, so it's like, hey, it's kind of funny, because this guy in my fanfic had, like, a brain situation, and guess whose life is imitating art? Me. But then, I kind of thought this would be like, oh, this is kind of funny, and also, like, are you good? Also, it's, like, kind of funny, and people would move on. People did not move on. They correctly clocked me as the sort of person who would tell nobody about the concussion except for my mom, and also keep working for 2 or 3 days after the concussion. And then people get really worried about this, and I don't know why, because I'm just a stranger on the internet. But I guess people are very nice. So that's how that happened, and now somebody has a whiteboard that is tracking the amount of times that I've said I'm fine on that server.
Oh my god. I love that. I love that for you. This is like kind of my worst fear of like something I am very insecure about in life is that like kind of like not good things will happen to me and I'll like make jokes about it. Like when my friend died and then he kept trolling me from the grave by me finding links of AO3 fanfics that he sent and then typing them in and then finding out that they were just Harry Styles. Mm-hmm. Like stuff like that where people are like, damn, I'm sorry your friend died. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm sorry he left these fanfic links that just say Harry Styles.
Yeah, sorry that he was hilarious.
Yeah, sorry that the world lost a real one. But like, I feel like sometimes I'll say things and my friends will be like, are you okay? Like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no, I wasn't trying to like have a pity party. Like, I just think this is funny. I do have an example that happened to me this week, but it does involve vomit. So,
So turn off the podcast if you don't want to hear about vomit and come back in 30 seconds.
Fine. Fast forward like 2 minutes. So I had like a weird miniature bout of food poisoning on Sunday.
Oh no.
And I'm on Wellbutrin, which when I was prescribed it, the psychiatrist was like, we don't prescribe this to people with bulimia because if you throw up too much on it, then it can cause seizures. Incidentally, the friend who left me the fanfics did die of a seizure.
Jesus.
So a bit of a sensitive thing for me there. And I thankfully am not bulimic at this point in my life.
Yay.
And
we stand.
yay. then I got food poisoning, and I have not vomited on Wellbutrin yet. And I was like, fuck, what if I vomit and I have a seizure? And, like, this is such a niche thing that, like, you can't WebMD search it. Like, I was reading medical journal articles from 1988
Jesus fucking
about,
Christ.
like, yeah, because I was, like, literally me, like, sitting on the floor, like, about to throw up, and I'm like, is it okay if I throw up, though? And then I called my mom and was like, hey, can you, like, be on the line in case I have a seizure? And she was like, what the fuck? And, yeah, shout out to moms everywhere. That's my story. But, like, I think it's funny to, like, read medical journal articles instead of, like, reading WebMD because you're freaking out about an extremely minor, like, anomalous medical thing that can maybe happen, possibly. But point being, when I told that story to my friends, they were like, damn, that's terrible. And I was like, no, it's funny.
I mean, okay, things can be both funny and terrible at the same time, but also it's kind of funny. I don't know.
I appreciate you for finding that funny.
I mean, it was funny, but it's also like funny post it happening. I think if you had told me about this like while it was happening, I would have been like, Amanda, do you want to just like call me and have that phone line on? Because I would have been like,
while this was happening, I was like concerned about it, which is why I called my mom.
Right.
But once I was fine, I was like, I was really reading that medical journal article from 1988.
Did you learn anything from the 1988 medical journal?
Yeah, I learned that if you have bulimia, don't take Wellbutrin.
Okay, so we've all learned something today. Yeah, no, I think the difference was with like mine was that like no, I like actively had a concussion.
Yeah.
And I probably should have told people who weren't a fanfic Discord server about it, but this is fine.
You know, there's some people that you can open up to in life, and sometimes it's the people in a fanfic Discord server, and sometimes it's the people that are listening to your podcast who you just, like, trauma dump on for a minute about fanfic.
You know, I think this really says something about, like, the way that our human relationships in the world. I'm gonna be real. I've been thinking about that a lot, but let's move on. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about someone else's human relationships in the world. Kate Corain has fumbled the bag.
This is, you know, the pure delight of you're scrolling TikTok, you stop at a video, it's publishing drama, hell yeah, it's a holiday, Hanukkah gift for me, thank you for the Hanukkah gift, publishing world.
I mean, I feel like what I like about this publishing drama is that we really like we started the year with someone coming back from the dead in publishing. And now we are ending it with someone like basically being buried alive by publishing.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, we talked about this on the podcast earlier in the year, but there was like a romance author who like faked her own death and then decided she didn't want to fake her own death, and then 3 years later was like, hey guys, sorry about that, I'm actually alive, what's up? And then people were like, what the fuck?
The fact that she was just so chill about it was so funny. This is the opposite. This is Kate Corain is being fucking deranged.
Another funny thing about the death, though, that this happened after we talked about it, was so the podcast Normal Gossip, which is like big podcast where they talk about gossip, but it's like stories from people, but they anonymize it. But they released an episode shortly after this about like there was like a pocket watch repair guy, and it was like a super niche community, and there was this one guy who's like the only person who can repair the pocket watches, and then he faked his own death in order to like keep someone's pocket watch that he was working on. What? And then Normal Gossip had to come out and say the pocket watch episode was not the anonymized version of the romance author faking her own death.
That's so much.
So now Kate Corain fumbled the bag.
So Kate Corain, if you are not like in publishing drama.jpg, you probably don't know about this, although it did hit like the New York Times and like the Today Show and shit like that, so I guess it is like mainstream. But Kate Corain is a debut author who she was all set up for success. She had agent, publishing deal, big YA splashy book, a lot of marketing. She was in like one of like the loot crate, like the crates, quote unquote, which is like when basically your book is part of like the monthly subscription service that people are subscribed to, and then you get the book, which is probably like a fancy edition with like some other like random junk. It's not junk, it's usually pretty nice. It's like marketing shit.
Oh yeah. Loot critiques.
So, right, which is
the
like
Greek philosopher.
Which would like drastically bump the amount of things that she just automatically sells. So for a debut author, this is crazy. She is well positioned for success. Her book is like Greek myth retelling, like Dionysus and Ariadne. I don't know. I haven't read the book because it's not out yet, and it's
That sounds like something I would enjoy, but now I don't want to read it.
Well, now you can't read it because she's racist, and also perhaps crazy. She is all set up to secure the bag. She is won. The number that is being thrown around in different circles is that her whole deal, like quote unquote, was like $250K, which is very high. Not very, very high, but like very high for like a normal book. Then it comes out by a 31-page receipt document posted by, I think Jiren J. Zhao posted this with a Twitter post and then a TikTok post being like, yeah, so this is happening. There's been like, this chick has been review bombing people, specifically people of color, for months. And review bombing refers to basically when you go on Goodreads or like, it's always Goodreads, let's be real. And then like basically leave a 1-star review for like books that aren't out yet, usually. So
yeah, which
that's
this
the
is
beginning.
feasible because like people get galleys of books and then review them on Goodreads. So it's not like, oh, this review is illegitimate because it's before the book came out. Like, no, this is like what people do.
Right, it's like an advanced copy. It's a reviewer who got it. But basically she created a bunch of sock puppet accounts that were just like 1-starring a lot of debut like POC author books, and also like giving 5 stars to her book. And then people kind of started talking about this in like the publishing world and being like, hey, this is weird. What's going on here? And then Zhao was like, fuck it. Post the Google Doc. Google Doc posted. Now it turns into a whole thing.
And this goes back until April. Like, she's been doing this since April.
Which is like, why was she like, so first of all, bizarre behavior so far. Then what happens is Corinne essentially makes up a person and is like, look at my friend. Her name is Lily. She's the one who's been doing this. But she does a very bad job.
Her friend Lily from, in theory, from the internet, who she knows through the Raylo fandom. Right, it's always Raylo.
And then this is where the Raylos get involved. Because, okay, Raylos, I feel like we've talked about them on the pod before, but like Raylos are just like, Kylo Ren. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, Kylo Ren,
and
Rey, who, I don't know Star Wars, but I know Raylo because I've read all of the Ali Hazelwood books.
The fact that you haven't, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
the fact that you read I do think Hazelwood books, but not like really knowing about Star Wars is just very funny to me.
Because I like that Ali Hazelwood writes romance novels where in the end the real enemy is misogyny in academia. I think that's every book.
I think the funniest thing is that you're the only person I know who's like read these, and that's your takeaway. Is so funny to me.
No, Amanda McLaughlin has also read them.
Well, I mean, I haven't talked about them with Amanda McLaughlin. Is it just people who are named Amanda who read these?
Yeah, it's Raylo fans and people named Amanda. Okay. But like, I don't know. I do think she's sort of in that weird phase where when you have a book that's really popular and then the publishing machine is like, keep writing books, and then they get worse because she's writing books in like a month. And the most recent book, which I read on Island 2, was like a lot of jokes about the Omegaverse in it, and it was like, Allie, come on, you can't do that. Come on. No.
That would actually enhance it for me.
Yeah, no, well, but okay, Jock has it. I gave it to Jock when I finished it.
Of course Jock has. Okay, so that's, well, anyway, so Corinne creates Lily. Lily is supposed to be a Raylo. Raylos are like, bitch, she doesn't exist. So it's like, she really, like, got the full concentrated power of the Raylos, like, laser targeted against her because of this one move. Like, she has just fumbled the bag in so many different ways. Like, she's just made some horrible moves. So that's what Corinne does. And then basically what happens is that Corinne gets dropped by her agent, gets dropped by her publisher, although it looks like it's just being pushed back, gets dropped by like the Loot Crate thing. And then she kind of just, and then she posts like a really long apology about how she had a psychotic break or something and why that led to her being racist. And then people are like, being mentally ill doesn't make you racist.
Yeah, as a mentally ill person, who I hope I'm not racist, I can say with certainty that if I had a book coming out, I don't think I would go on Goodreads and review bomb people of color's books.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, this is, like, it's just baffling behavior from somebody who was all set up to be a successful author.
Yeah, it's like she didn't need to do this. Like, she could have just chilled and she would have been successful. But also, what's weird about her apology is that she was like, I started a new medication in November, and then that caused me to have a psychotic break.
And it's like, but that's
this
not
has
gonna
been
make
going
anything.
on.
Please go back to April.
It's been going on since April. So what were you doing in April? Were you, like, being racist without having a psychotic break? Which also, like, I don't know. I mean, you already said this, but, like, I hate when people blame stuff like this on mental illness because, like, the majority of people that have mental illnesses don't become, like, racist and terrible because of the mental illness. You just, like, don't cook anything for, like, 2 weeks and don't wash your face and then don't know how to take care of yourself and then cry and then one day you're like, all right, time to clean up.
Yeah, and, like, in no place in this does review bombing people of color on the internet come into play. Like... And but she is checking into, like, an inpatient treatment thing, apparently.
I mean,
so, like,
probably good. I mean, also because yeah, like, that seems, I don't know. Like, I think we can wish for her to get better without exonerating her of what she did.
You know, like, as a person, like, figure your shit out, but also, like, the fuck were you doing here? Why were you doing this? Stop being racist. Also, like, just what was the reason for this? The whole thing was bizarre. Like, I think the thing about this is that there's so clearly, like, a villain here, and it's her.
Yeah.
And it's really fun watching somebody get, like, completely taken down because of their own horrible machinations.
I really just love the detail about creating a fake person in the Raylo fandom.
Honestly, that really gets me.
It's really funny.
But why was it her, like, first move to be like, shit, I gotta create a new guy? But then she doesn't even do a good job of it.
Well, yeah, because she created a new guy and then, like, had 2 Discord accounts, one of which was of the new guy, and then had a conversation between her and the person on Discord where she made it look like she was like, oh my god, Lily, what the hell are you doing? You're making me look terrible. I would never do such a thing. How could you do this to me, Lily? But then the timestamps are pretty telling on these messages because they're from, like, one day, and they don't go back until April when theoretically this started.
Yeah, like, I mean, honestly, if you're gonna do this sort of shit, like, at least do it intelligently.
Yeah, if you're gonna be a terrible person, at least be smart.
But also, it's kind of fun that she's dumb, because then we get, like, shit like this. I don't know if there's any takeaway from here.
Turns out that being racist makes you stupid.
Yeah, and that's our takeaway here. Excited to see what January brings for us in new publishing drama, whether somebody will die, come back to life, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had Resurrection, we had Burial by fake Goodreads reviews. What's next in 2024?
Do you have any predictions?
An Isabel J. Kim book deal.
Yeah, honestly, that would actually be delightful, and I would appreciate that greatly. My book's on submission now, which is kind of fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be in another best of anthology. So
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, Wizards. That's a lie.
Wizards.
That one isn't about wizards. It's about weirder stuff than that. The
Well,
book is about
I feel
wizards.
like anything you write is wizard fiction, even if there's no wizards in it.
Well, so okay, here's
Exactly.
an issue that I've been running into recently, and this has really been only an issue for the last, like, 3 months of my life, is that me and Roshan have created a dialect so deranged where we call every single piece of, like, fantasy, science fiction, weird media, wizard fiction. When it's, like, you know, it could be about spaceships, and that's still wizard fiction. But I can't say that to anybody else, and I've been like hanging out with, like, science fiction people, and I have to constantly be like, you can't call it wizard fiction, man. You cannot call the thing with the big spaceship and the lasers, and, like, or, like, the really serious thing about, like, you know, like, body sharing or something like that's not wizard fiction. You can't call it that. I know you and Roshan call it that constantly. It's not what it is, and I have to tell myself that.
You know, Becky Chambers, wizard fiction.
Yeah, it's wizard fiction. I just got to call things by their names. It's fine. I have really relatable problems.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the world cruise?
Oh, yeah. Speaking of relatable problems, these people are going to have the most unrelatable problems in human existence soon. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this because I think it's deranged, and I'm excited for us to update about it for the next 274 days. The reason we are going to be updating about it for the 274 days, I'm announcing this on our pod. Amanda, you don't know that we're going to be talking about this for the next 274 days, but I do, because I'm going to bring it up again.
Hey, I'm happy. I want to know about it. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of drama.
Yes, so Royal Caribbean is basically doing what they're calling the Ultimate World Cruise. It is going on for 274 days. That is 9 months. Across
Damn, you could conceive a baby and then have the baby at the end.
You could, oh my god, like probably someone's gonna do that. Probably someone has fucked on a cruise. It's been
Oh yeah,
going on.
people are fucking on the cruise. They're going to get pregnant on the cruise.
So basically what's happened is that it's this Ultimate World Cruise, quote unquote. It's gonna circle the globe. It's taking 9 months. It has started 4 days ago. People are making TikToks about it. People have started live blogging their experience on the Ultimate World Cruise. It leaves from Miami, so a lot of the content so far has been people arriving in Miami and then getting on the cruise ship and then like looking around a cruise ship and then going to like the first couple islands. Yeah, it's like
Rich people in Miami is really just, as someone who grew up in Florida, South Beach, don't go there.
Yeah, so, but the thing is that this has like a real, like, people are locked on a boat together energy that I don't think they have realized because they're very much like, yeah, I'm so excited to be on like vacation for the next 9 months, or like, oh, I'm going to be working from home from the cruise ship and then going to see a bunch of cool stuff. And like, honestly
a good idea.
Honestly, kind of a good idea, but it's also kind of like,
should we go on the cruise?
We're not going, with what money?
With all the Patreon money.
Oh, you're so right. Hey guys, subscribe to our Patreon so we can live vlog.
Important update, they don't go to Laos on the trip.
God.
I am scrolling through the itinerary. The Southeast Asia part, they go to Vietnam, Singapore, and Malaysia.
It's honestly a pretty good itinerary. You can also do parts of the cruise. Like, you don't have to stay on for the whole time.
No, you gotta do the whole thing. I mean, you can, but you gotta do the whole thing.
Yeah, you have to do the whole thing, but you are given the option to do parts of it. Anyway, everyone who's on it seems like an insufferable influencer type, but it's also very interesting because they're insufferable influencer types who are all stuck on a boat together.
I can't wait for the normal gossip episode to come out about this in, like, 2 years.
Yeah, so I think what's going to happen this is my prediction for what's going to happen on this cruise ship. First of all, I don't think they're ever going to do this again because I think it's a bad idea. Second, I think there's going to be at least, like, a breakup, like, at least 2 or 3 breakups that are basically, like, live blogged on TikTok.
It seems like it's literally the premise of the show, The Ultimatum, where, like, couples break up and then they start dating other people and then they decide at the end that they want to be back with the original partner.
Literally, I think that's going to happen here. Like, you're right. The other thing I think that's going to happen is that at least 1 or 2 of the influencers are going to, like, give up 3 months in.
But, like, I wonder, how much does it cost? I'm on the website now, and, I mean, you can see the segments, but each segment of, like, 1 to 2 weeks is about $1,500 to $2,000, and it's 9 months.
It starts from $65K per person for 9 months.
Oh wow, that's. See, the thing is that I feel like I would think it's more, but it is more because you like can't have a job.
Sorry, no, but a lot of people are working remotely. Sorry, it's 58K or somewhere around the 60K mark, depending on what room you've got.
I mean, honestly, like, I feel like some rich people spend that much on, like, a normal vacation.
Oh, yeah, like, honestly, like, as 9 months on a cruise ship goes, I actually think that's, like, not exactly reasonable, but reasonable. Do you know what I mean? Because that is, like, 9 months, and a lot of stuff is included. Like, you're not paying for internet or food or, like, laundry or, like, rent, theoretically, I guess. Okay, so, like, 9 months, 60K.
So, yeah, it's about, like, $6,500 a month, which is, more than most people make. But it's not as egregious as I thought it would be, no, like, I don't know how to explain this.
No, like, it sounds like it should be something that's more expensive, but, like, honestly, like, 6.5K a month but that's, like, an expensive... I feel
like there's going to be one day when everyone gets food poisoning.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be a day when everyone gets food poisoning. I think someone might die.
Yeah, how many people are on the cruise?
Lots.
Sorry,
that wasn't helpful. I read it somewhere, and capacity.
Well, so you have been on cruises more recently than I have. I don't think I've been on a cruise since I was a child, and I was afraid of the Titanic, so I probably... complained a lot to my parents when they were just trying to have a normal vacation. Mm-hmm. But, like, when you go on a normal cruise, is there drama?
I mean, there's usually drama with me and my parents, just because it's me and my parents. But, like, that's usually it.
Okay, yeah, because I feel like if you're on a cruise for like 1 or 2 weeks, it's not enough time for like conflict to brew among strangers.
Yeah, because, like, there's, like, 7 or 8 days, and I don't talk to strangers because I'm scared of them. And also, I don't want to. Like, what I want to do on a cruise ship is, like, what I want to do on a cruise ship is I want to read that one, like, essay about a cruise. Hold on. Yeah, it's, like, David Foster Wallace's essay about a cruise ship. Like, I want to read that because he hates it so much, and I read it every time. Because I also, like, I don't love cruises. I think they're interesting. I don't love them. I go on them because my mother wants to go on vacation with me and does not want to plan things other than getting on a boat. And I actually support that so hard because it's actually really annoying to, like, you know, figure out hotels and food and shit like that. And
yeah, that is
like,
the appeal of the cruise, from what I understand.
Right. Like, I get it that my mom is like, I want to spend some time with you and I want to just, like, hang out. And I'm like, sure, fine. But, like, what I want to do on a cruise ship is I want to read this essay about how weird cruise ships are. And then I want to work on my book, and I want to lie around and check out the buffet. Those are, like, the 3 things. I'm very boring.
Honestly, it sounds great.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, it's like chill. It's like fine. But I don't want to talk to strangers.
Someone should start a podcast on the World Cruise.
Someone should start a podcast on the World Cruise. Anyway, I looked it up.
We should be on the World Cruise.
We should be on the World Cruise. We would do a great job. I think we would.
We should take out loans to go on the World Cruise.
I think that's a great idea and will not end badly at all.
Yeah. This is our chance to make it big.
You know, but here's the other thing is that everyone who's blogging about this, like, not all of them are, like, huge content creators, but they're gonna become huge content creators because they're on the World Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man. So I have a segue of, speaking of people investing insane amounts of money into something in order to become an influencer.
Please go on.
I've become weirdly obsessed in the last few weeks with luxury advent calendar TikTok.
Interesting. Tell me more about this. I haven't seen any of that, mostly because my TikTok is mostly the World Cruise.
Yeah, and I haven't seen the World Cruise until you brought it up. So, yeah. When you think of an advent calendar, you probably think of, like, you get at the grocery store, like, a little thing with some chocolates in it, and it's, like, kind of gross chocolate, but it's, like, fun for kids, I guess. Mm-hmm. But companies like Dior, Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent, Neiman Marcus, Bloomingdale's, whatever, all have been making advent calendars, and they're like between like $500 to $5,000. Like Dior has like a couple different ones, the most expensive of them being like $5,400, and then they have one that's like $500. But
what's
like
in these?
Okay. Advent calendar content has been a thing on the internet for like a while because it's kind of an easy one-to-one thing of, I'm gonna buy this like Lego advent calendar and unbox it on YouTube, and then people want to see it. Like, my understanding of it is I feel like I enjoy watching this content because it's the same sensation of like, you go on a website for like a clothing brand you like and you make a cart as though you're really shopping, and then you get to the end and you're like, I'm just gonna not check out, and if I still want this in a few days, I'll check out, and then you never really do. Sometimes you do, but like, it's the same itch of like, the act of shopping is fun, and then thus the act of watching other people like have these like little moments of like endorphin, like, surprise.
The allure of the unboxing video.
Yeah, exactly. So what's funny about the question of what is in these is that, for example, there's one that is from Vogue this year that was like $450. It has some pieces of jewelry, it has some like full-size MAC lipsticks, it has some like very fancy candles. Like, people like the Vogue one because every item in it is actually like a good item. But this is a very tenuous thing because the luxury advent calendar broke containment in 2021 when Chanel put out, I believe it was like a $1,000 advent calendar. If you look up, like, Chanel 2021 unboxing, it's so fucking funny. Basically, like, all of the days are stickers and, like, Chanel keychains. And it's like, people are paying, like, $1,000 for this, and you're probably giving them the equivalent of, like, $100 of perfume and then a bunch of stickers. Which, normally, the appeal of the advent calendar is that they want you to feel as though you're saving money, because you, like, in theory, if you were to buy every individual item in a lot of these advent calendars, it would cost more money than you're spending. And then people are like, oh, it's such a good deal. But then it's also like, were you planning on spending like $5,000 on Dior products? Probably not. Maybe. If you are, good for you, but not me. I got the Trader Joe's 12 Days of Beauty advent calendar for $20, and it was delightful. The Trader Joe's vitamin C firming body butter. We're sponsored by that. It's so good. It smells really good. They have these like very good citrus scents. The Brazilian nut hair mask was very good from Trader Joe's.
I feel like Trader Joe's should be sponsoring us right now. Yeah, okay.
I know.
I also
The Trader Joe's beauty products are like low key really good.
I've never bought any of them, I'm gonna be real.
You gotta.
I go into Trader Joe's just to buy like snacks and then I leave.
Well, go in to buy snacks and then also buy the vitamin C firming body butter.
Right, as opposed to the Chanel 2021 advent calendar. Yeah, no, I'm reading it right now, and I'm reading an article about it right now, because that's what I do when we podcast, is I look up the articles about stuff you're talking about, and it's like, wow, people are really mad about this. People are really mad about the Chanel one.
They gave stickers for so many of the days.
I get it! Damn. I also appreciate that you're Jewish and telling me about advent calendars.
Oh, yeah, no,
I just think that's funny.
So... yeah, I didn't know what an advent calendar was until college, and then I'm still mad about this. I made a joke to a friend who's Catholic.
You brought this up like 4 times, dude.
I know! Because I'm so mad about it that I made a joke about Jewel Pod advent calendars, and then they said that I was appropriating Catholic culture, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm Jewish.
Bro, you gotta get over it. It's been like 3 years.
This was like 4 years ago, and I'm still mad about it.
I do like that you're the one that's buying the advent calendars and not me, though.
Well, I mean, I bought one, and it was $20.
Yeah, that's reasonable. No, I mean, I had one like a couple years ago, and it was like a Godiva one that my mom got me. It's like a Christmas gift. And that was good because it was a little piece of chocolate every day.
Yeah, like advent calendars, I actually like learned about this because I'm working on an article about it. I literally was like, what is advent? Like, I don't know what that is.
I actually don't know what it is either. I just know that you get a calendar for it.
I learned that it starts on the 4th Sunday before Christmas, and then it lasts for 4 weeks.
Huh.
And it's just a season of preparing for the birth of Christ. I think the calendar thing is that people used to like literally use a calendar to count down because, you know, people use calendars.
Because that's how a calendar is used, yes.
Yeah. And then it just kind of turned into like a commercial thing. And then now here we are where Dior has a $5,000 advent calendar.
Okay, so which is the best one to buy this year out of the luxury advent calendars? Or do they all suck and you should just get Trader Joe's?
I'm going to say best bang for your buck. I loved the Trader Joe's one. I think Trader Joe's has great beauty products. It's like the platonic ideal of the advent calendar. You're getting mini sizes of 12 different products, but all of the 12 different products are like actually kind of fun. There was only one that I'm like, I will never use this. There was like a cake scented lotion that literally just smells so strongly of cake. Like, I feel like it would be something that you give to a child. So I won't use the cake one. But the rest of them are like, sure, I'll use this, like, hair mask and this, like, lip scrub. And they had a gingerbread chapstick that I really like.
Wait, speaking of, like, weirdly flavored / like, scented things, this is sort of unrelated, but my mom has bought me gingerbread flavored floss. Like,
I don't like that.
I'm going to try it out. No, because,
okay.
The thing is that my mom...
Try it out right now.
Oh my god, do I have to go get it? I didn't open it yet. Should I go get it?
I mean... maybe.
Okay, fine, I'll go get it. Hold on.
Yay! While you're gone, I'll just keep talking about advent calendars.
Okay, and then I'll explain the floss thing later, because there's more context that makes it more or less deranged. I don't know.
Yeah, but so I got obsessed with the idea of the luxury advent calendar because there are people on TikTok that will buy, like, thousands of dollars of advent calendars. Like, I interviewed this one person, Mary Berry, who...
Okay, I'm back.
I'm just talking about luxury advent calendars and how I interviewed this person, Mary Berry, who spent $20,000 on luxury advent calendars and has been unboxing one a day for the last 48 days. And from TikTok ad revenue, she's only made back $1,500, but she runs a beauty manufacturing company. So, like, she's the person that, like, makes the unlabeled cosmetics and then brands buy them and label them. Mm-hmm. And she said that she has, like, gotten clients from this, so...
So it's probably worth it as, like, a marketing thing.
Yeah, like she's made the money back, and she went from 4,000 to 100,000 TikTok followers.
I actually think that was probably worth it in the marketing level.
I don't know. It's also interesting because TikTok recently changed how they monetize, which pays people a lot more than it was, but only for videos that are longer than 1 minute and don't have copyrighted music in them.
Is that why all the videos in TikTok have been getting longer?
Yes.
Huh. Did I learn?
Yeah. But so right now it's like, not to bring up the people, but Hank Green very helpfully made a video about this where before the new creator program he was making like 2 cents per 1,000 views, and now he's making like 80 cents per 1,000 views, which that's a huge difference.
Oh shit.
Like in the past, TikTok has just been like, do not rely on money from TikTok. It's like, you got 1 million views, cool, here's like a $5 gift card. Like it's, yeah. But now people can actually make money on TikTok. So I think that's, I don't know if it's a 1-to-1 because people probably had to buy these advent calendars in like September before the creator fund changed.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that makes it a little more lucrative for people, and maybe next year it'll be even more popular. But also by next year, the creator fund probably won't be this lucrative anymore because it's in beta. So they're trying to get people to switch over to it by being like, look how good it is. And then in like a year, there's going to be another Hank Green video where he's like, now I'm making 10 cents instead of 4 cents. Like, I don't know.
Should I try this floss?
Yes.
Okay, so the context is that my mom is very into this, like, one floss brand, like a fancy floss brand called Coco Floss. She's also very into Isabel just fucking floss. So,
yeah.
Because she's my mother. And so the current floss I've been using recently is banana daiquiri flavored.
Huh. Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I like it because I like artificial banana.
Okay.
And then she gave me 2 Christmas themed ones, which are dark chocolate. I'm not going to open that right now, and also, sorry, I was wrong. It wasn't gingerbread. It was apple cinnamon. So I'm going to open apple cinnamon, and then I'll taste it, I guess.
How do
things
they
I do for you people
and still make it good for your teeth?
I think it's just like flavoring. I don't know, man. It's also like, it's honestly pretty good floss, but it's also way too expensive. I would not be using it if my mom was not buying it for me. But she's like, she got onto it because one of my aunts was, whatever. This is unboxing. It is also, the packaging is sparkly.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very aesthetic. All right. I cannot stress enough, I'm just flossing my teeth on the pod. It's 10:30 in the morning.
Hey, good for you. I haven't flossed today.
I don't floss in the morning usually. Okay, I'm just taking out a little bit. Okay, I'm putting it back in the packaging because I have to finish my fucking banana daiquiri floss first. It smells like apple cinnamon.
Cool.
Like, it smells like very, like, Christmassy.
Do you think that the flavors make you floss more?
No.
Yeah. Because I feel like mint is a pretty good flavor for floss. I don't know about you, but...
Okay, this does taste like eating, like a cinnamon mint or something.
Huh. Now, okay, next time I see you, I need you to give me, like, a yard of this floss.
Should I give you, like, pieces of all the weird floss I have? I can do that for you.
Yes.
We can mail you some floss.
Yes.
Hey, does anyone who subscribes to our Patreon want me to mail you some floss? I'll mail you some floss.
Damn, we really should be sponsored by Coco Floss.
They should. I think it'd be very fun. I'm dead serious. If you subscribe to our Patreon and you're on our Discord server, let me know if you want me to mail you some floss. I'll like wear gloves to like move it into a plastic bag or something. I think this would just be very funny.
Yes. So also speaking of like trying stuff, I do just want to address the Panera Death Lemonade.
Oh Christ.
So Panera had a charged lemonade, and they did not say to people that it was caffeinated, and there were some deaths as a result of it. But because people on the internet are insane, now everyone's like, haha, I want to try the death lemonade. It has like 390 milligrams of caffeine, whereas apparently a cup of coffee is like 90 or so. So it's basically like 4 coffees, but it's a lemonade. But also the thing about this is that like I looked up a Starbucks drink that I get sometimes, and it was like kind of similar. So am I always drinking the death lemonade?
I mean, you might be. It's also, like, the insane thing about the Death Lemonade is not just the caffeine count, but the fact that they don't advertise the caffeine amount. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like,
well,
a lot
they
of people
do
drinking, it's
now
just like,
because
yeah,
they were
people
getting
died.
in trouble. I wanted to get a voice memo, but kept joking about it and didn't. But my friend Dan did have the Death Lemonade and said, quote, "Unfortunately, I want another. It's like if cocaine was a person and had jury duty."
I'm really curious about it, and there's not a Panera near me, so I still haven't tried it. Also, because, like, I was sick, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't ingest 290 milligrams of caffeine and sugar at once while my brain's fried, but, like, I really want to try it. I was talking about people with work about this because, like, lawyers are all crazy. We're all kind of like, yeah, this is its selling point. We kind of need this in the office.
Yeah, get a tap of Panera Death Lemonade in the office.
Honestly, I would love that so much. We would all die.
Another thing that I want to mention, Ricardo the Bull, a real one.
Let's go, New Jersey. I feel like this is just like do you know where this one feels like the human interest story at the end of a news program where they're just like, and now look at what this weird animal was doing.
But it's so good, and I think this is the advantage of social media, that we kind of watched this unfold in real time, where at Newark Penn Station in Newark, New Jersey, which is like their Amtrak station, also the station I go to get picked up when a mole brings me to the island.
Oh wait, I have news updates too after this.
There was a bull just like running through the tracks. Yeah, and then, of course, a bunch of people post on social media a video of this bull running to, like, various songs, like The Boys Are Back in Town.
Yeah, honestly, like, insane situation, because it's literally just, like, a bull that escaped probably from a slaughterhouse. It's really unclear where the bull came from, but now he is on the tracks.
The New York Daily News said that he allegedly escaped a slaughterhouse, which I just love the use of the word allegedly there.
Right, like, I mean, I guess it's, like, one of those things where it's, like, it's, like, where did he come from? I don't know, the bull's just here. He's now at a sanctuary and he's been named, so that's why he's named Ricardo.
Ricardo. Yeah, and then they also posted, like, an exclusive interview where it's just a guy being like, "Hey, man, how are you feeling?" And then the bull is just, like, sitting there.
Love that. That's the content that people crave. Yeah. Okay, last thing about animals. So, you know how they burn down... You know how there's, like, this war between, like, the big goat, the big straw goat, the Gavla goat, or the Gavlabakken? I'm probably saying
I don't know anything about this.
Oh, this is fun. Okay, so let me... I think I'm saying it wrong. Hold on.
I'm gonna look at the tweet that you linked.
Okay, so...
Oh, God.
This is a Swedish goat. Like, a straw goat that they put up in Gavle in Sweden. Like, that's why it's the Gavle... Yeah, that's how you say it.
Gavlebakken?
Yeah, that's why they call it, like, the Gavle goat or Gavlebakken. It is made of straw. It has been burned down many times, and it has started becoming... No, like, in a way where, like...
Oh, no.
Okay, so 38 out of the 57 goats that have been made have been, like, destroyed / burned down. So it's sort of like a, a cat and mouse game, if you will, between the people who are trying to burn down the goat and the people who are trying to stop the goat from getting burned down. Like, if you go on the Wikipedia page, you will see, like, a whole list of survived versus fire.
Incredible.
So, like...
And this is arson. This isn't, like...
Yes, it's arson.
Oh, man. It's not, like, natural causes.
So, like, for example, in 2022, the security editions were new 24-hour real-time public webcam feed, double fence, 24-hour guards. And it survived. But in 2021, they added no security additions, and it was simply burned down on the 17th of December, and a 40-year-old man was arrested. And he was sentenced to 6 months in prison. Like, it is a genuine crime. But
it's a crime that they seem to be doing a lot.
It's a lot of people who, like, it's different people who keep trying to do this crime, but I think it's just become, like, a thing to try and do this crime. What's fun that's happening this year is that it is not fire that is burning him down, it is the birds eating it.
Oh.
Because the birds are eating it. Because something went on with, like, a higher content of seeds in the straw, so the birds are like, yo, we have got to destroy this goat.
Damn.
So that's the Gavin thing.
Good for them.
Yeah. You should really look at the Wikipedia page for it, because it's very funny.
Cool. What was, I don't know if this is for podcast or for life, but what was your island update?
Oh, my island update was that, like, there is a turnover in the island authorities, in that
yes,
there's a new planning committee, so we will see what happens with the island. That's all it is. I'm in the
Are
chat
you
for
on the
that.
new planning Okay, good. I like having the inside information, but I don't want to actually be responsible for planning 'cause it seems like a lot of work and I'm tired.
No, yeah, I'm in the chat for it, but I haven't been helping it at all, and I'm not planning to help. There's a lot of people from, like, the old island planning committee in there, just kind of, like, institutional knowledge.jpg. I don't know if I'm going to the island this year, but, like, it's happening.
Why?
Oh, it's just because I'm using my vacation days to go to, like, Japan and probably to Glasgow for, like Worldcon.
Yeah.
To go do wizard shit.
Damn.
Yeah. So
how are we going to do a podcast then?
You might have to do the Hey, turn over in the podcast. We just designate our successors on the island.
Oh no. Yeah. Well, the hot island drama from my perspective is that there has been talks of not going back to the island and going to another place, which personally I'm like, how do you think you're going to find another place?
This is also how I feel about it. The secondary location, I'm kind of like, guys, we tried to look for a secondary location last year. It did not work out. But, more power to you.
It's like, we have a place that we know works and we know how to survive on it.
I think people are just kind of like, this is a little too much wilderness and we would prefer less wilderness. But I'm also kind of like, that's kind of the appeal.
Yeah, I feel like it's a normal amount of wilderness.
I guess the toilet things are annoying. You can't flush toilet paper down the toilets.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. This is uninteresting to other people.
No, this is important information if you ever want to go to an island or if you care about our island episodes, which I don't think anybody does.
Episode 69.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're done here.
Hell yeah.
I feel like there's like a lot of internet shit that happened this week. Like some weeks I'm kind of like nothing has happened on the internet, but this week I'm like a lot of things are happening.
Book drama, world cruise, bull on the tracks, goat eaten by birds. It's all we got it all here on Wow True.
Yeah, honestly, New York's hottest club has everything. Okay, on that note, if you like this episode, tell a friend. Word of mouth is how we grow. Thank you to all of our patrons, and shout out specifically to Zoe, Brand, Drama, Dia, Brian, Gabriel, Lotta, Matt, Max, my sugar daddy Sam, and Aaron's husband. If you want your name entered above or in our Twitter header, slide right into our Patreon at patreon.com/wowoftrue. Shout out to audio editors Allison Mills and David Newtown, graphic designer and Canva Warlock Eric Silver, who made our logo, Sam Reiser, who made our podcast music, and Tessa Farrow, who is transcribing our episodes. You can find us on Twitter as @WowofTruePod and Instagram and Facebook as @WowofTrue. Had your 15 seconds of internet fame? Are you on the world cruise and you want to tell us about it? Slide right into our Twitter DMs and tell us about it. And until next time, let's get weird on the internet.